Late last night, while most of you were probably sleeping, NASCAR's newest rivalry developed on Twitter. Oh boy, let's get into this. Welcome to the garage. Well, whether it be for better or for worse, there is really no shortage of headlines this week for NASCAR. And my goodness, where do I even begin with all this? I guess I'll have to start with the news from the beginning of the week, so make sure you stay to the end of the video for the big beef that happened last night. It was announced on Tuesday morning that Justin Alexander would be taking over duties as Austin Dillon's crew chief starting this weekend at Martinsville. Keith Rodden, who is Dillon's crew chief to start the season, will stay within the organization just in a different role. This change feels rather refreshing for Austin Dillon and that 3 team. They've gotten off to a really bad start to 2024. Just last week at Richmond, Austin Dillon was furious at his crew chief Justin Alexander for all of the different strategy calls that he's been making throughout the season. Just listen to this.
Oh, it's our dumbass strategy every fucking week. Double ma'am. Clear. Clear off. We're indecisive. We don't know what to do.
Settle down, drive the car and focus here. It ain't doing no good talking, just focus.
In his 11 seasons in NASCAR, this is Austin Dillon's 6th crew chief change, and it's not the first time that Justin Alexander will be calling the shots for Dillon. The number 3 team fires crew chiefs more often than the New York Jets fire their head coaches, so hopefully this time it works out a little long term for the team. Although the problem for this 3 team seems to go beyond just the talents of the crew chief. Yeah, hopefully they get it figured out though. On Wednesday, NASCAR announced that they would be fining Xfinity Series driver Joey Gase $5,000 for his viral moment last Saturday at Richmond. Listen, a lot of people are upset that NASCAR decided to discipline Joey Gase here, but NASCAR needs to try to stay a little consistent, right? A $5,000 penalty is one of the lowest penalties that you can receive in NASCAR. That's the penalty that a crew chief would get for a lug nut missing or for a lug nut not being on properly in one of the lower series. I mean, let's break it down. Joey Gase took a piece of his car off. He walked down a live track with oncoming traffic coming his way. He then used that piece of his car as a weapon, essentially throwing it at another competitor's car. The penalty could be way worse for Joey Gase here. We could be talking suspensions. We could be talking points penalties. We could be talking fines that are up to $25,000, not just $5,000. To me, this penalty says, hey, friendly reminder, you can't do stuff like this, but at the same time, we're really glad that you did. This moment went viral over the weekend. It made it to Bleacher Report, and it got just a little over 500,000 likes. Among all the other extremely popular sports news outlets that this viral moment was featured on. If you want my opinion on this, I do agree with NASCAR for giving Joey Gase that $5,000 fine. I mean, after all, he did violate a whole bunch of rules in the rulebook. I think the fine of $5,000 is just right. I think if there was some sort of suspension involved, some sort of points penalty involved, then it would be a little too much. I think a bare minimum penalty is justified for Joey Gase. It just serves as a reminder for other drivers and crews and teams that you can't get away with that. Now, what I don't agree with is NASCAR releasing their penalty report and then posting this video on Twitter about an hour later.
We can throw.
Yeah, it's hooked deep to right center field. No doubt about it. A 3-homer game. He caps it off with a grand slam.
Come on, NASCAR, that is bad timing. Some rather disappointing news came out on Wednesday morning involving part-time Xfinity Series driver Greg Gaulding. The first source that I had seen post about this matter on Twitter was Toby Christie, and this is what the article read. It reads, quote, Greg Gaulding, a part-time competitor in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, was arrested by Mecklenburg County Sheriff's Office at 7:17 a.m. Eastern Time on Tuesday, April 2nd, on a misdemeanor crime of domestic violence charge. Gaulding was released at 12:42 p.m. Eastern Time on Tuesday, April 2nd. There's really no other in-depth details about this case. There's no court dates that have been announced yet, but multiple sources have reported that Greg Gaulding has been indefinitely suspended by NASCAR. Well, now it's time to get into that really juicy news that you've all been waiting for. Last night, this photo of the new pavement at Sonoma already coming apart gained a little traction on Twitter. Among the people who had concerns about what they saw in the photo was Denny Hamlin, who had this to say. When paving on a budget goes wrong, North Wilkesboro will be next. Then Marcus Smith, who's the president and CEO of Speedway Motorsports, he's the son of Bruton Smith, and he's the overseer of projects such as this one at Sonoma, saw Denny's comments. He did not hold back in his response. Marcus tweets, "This is a great post from somebody who doesn't know all the information. Ignorance on display for the world to see," with a few clapping emojis. Marcus then goes on to say, "Following up my previous post, our team at Speedway Motorsports has an amazing track record for working to exceed expectations. Your nonchalant post is an insult to hundreds of people that are dedicated to exceeding expectations for the racing community and NASCAR fans around the world. You are a negative comments would carry a lot more weight if you had a championship to back them up. Good luck in your quest for 2024. Woo! It's starting to get hot in here. It's starting to get a little spicy. And of course, Denny Hamlin, as he typically tends to do, he had something else to say. Denny says, "You don't need to delete. We've seen your reconfiguration record." Marcus responds back and he says, "Yes, we take risks. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. We've seen your attempt of the championship as well. When you have a chance, maybe you can give me some golf tips." Oh, but it does not end there. Then Hamlin says the ultimate. "Here's your tip. Let someone else run your business before you blow everything your dad gave you." My goodness, Denny is absolutely cooking here with his responses. Marcus had one more thing to say before the Twitter war kind of de-escalated. He says, so proud of my dad. Hall of Famer. If he had a Twitter/X account, I don't think his comments would be family friendly. So listen here, almost NASCAR champion. You keep working at it, and one day you're going to get a big trophy. Thanks for the tip. So now this morning, Marcus and Denny have deleted their back and forth Twitter feud and issued apologies to each other, which is significantly less fun, so I won't read them out loud, but here they are right here. Nevertheless, though, the damage is still kind of done from last night. Alright, now listen, I can kind of see this from both sides here. Denny's a driver. He wants to race on a track that is properly paved and safe to race on. I don't think he's asking for much. Marcus Smith, on the other hand, is trying to work on a budget. He's taking risks, as he says, although I don't necessarily know what that means. But now his newly paved track is falling apart, and he needs to hold a cup race there in 2 months. Now he's got Denny Hamlin subtweeting him, calling him out. I could imagine that Marcus Smith's blood was boiling. My goodness, though, that Twitter beef was fun to watch live. I won't lie to you. That was like the first night in months that I stayed up after 10 p.m., and I'm glad I picked that night to do it. This will certainly be a bit of a talking point in the following days and weeks, and although they issued apologies to each other, I don't know if this beef is necessarily going to be over. For now, though, all I can say is Marcus needs to come up with some better insults, man. He just kept hitting him with the almost champion, and it was really good at first. I mean, when he first said it, I let out an audible gasp. I was like, oh man, hold this man back. He's got the insults. But then he kept saying it and saying it and saying it, and it was like, all right, man, you're losing this battle. Also, Denny may have retired his "I beat your favorite driver" saying after he wins a race, but it seems like now on Twitter he has a bit of a new saying. Again, I ask, could someone come out with a new paint scheme or something? With kind of a melting face emoji. Hey, I mean, Ryan Ellis responded with this. That's a really cool paint scheme, but I'm still not over the Twitter beef. That's definitely going to be the talking point for a little while. Anyways, guys, we have a full weekend of racing ahead of us. It starts tonight. The NAS trucks are going to be at Martinsville Speedway under the lights, where Corey Heim is going to look to go back-to-back. Then Saturday night under the lights is the Xfinity Series at Martinsville, and then of course on Sunday afternoon it is the Cup Series. That's really all the major headlines for this week. Hey, if you're going to head to Twitter to check out some of that beef and see what the people are saying, why don't you go give me a follow as well over there? That link could be found in the description below. While you're at it, click the other links. Go follow me on Instagram and on TikTok. While I was filming this video, we had a little bit of an earthquake in the tri-state area, and I got it on camera. So if you want to see my reaction to that, it's in all of my social links down below. Oh wait, but before you do that, make sure you hit the like button, comment, and subscribe to the channel, please. I do appreciate you guys. The channel is on the rise. We're pretty dang close to 1,000 subscribers, and I could not be more thankful for that. So thank you for watching the video today, and enjoy all of the on-track action and the full week of racing ahead at Martinsville.